Was he married? And then he thinks that now he can make up with his wife now the evening. Then his wife tells him, no, you can't come close to me. He said, no, but I take you back. She tells me, you can't take me back. You gave me 3 talaq. He says, what do you mean? Then she says, you're only allowed to give them. He doesn't even know he has only 3 talaqs to give. And then he says, no, but I meant 1. I meant 1. And then he says that I always thought that in order for a talaq to be valid, you must give it thrice. Now, it might sound funny. I mean, it's a very serious thing, because now this man's marriage now potentially is bordering a baynuna, where he's completely haram for that lady. According to our madhab, he's khalas. In fact, all 4 madhab is finished. He can't get back to that lady. So now he comes and he says, oh Shaykh, I really thought that they had to give 3 talaqs. And then sometimes they pull something funny out of the sleeve and they say, I was baie kwaad geweest, ek was smoor kwaad, I didn't know what I was saying. Or some people say I was possessed. Like some funny stuff. And then now you have to now find hilas with it. Now you have to now find loopholes and ways to still keep the family intact and the marriage intact. And all of this boils down to ill knowledge with regards to talaq. So it's on this basis that I was now telling Haib Abdullah Mihdar in my silly mind now that you should do the Kitab al-Talaq. So he said, Kitab al-Talaq. And then he in his hikmah he read Kitab in Kitab al-Salah Bab al-Sahu, Sujood al-Sahu, the chapter of Salah, but the discussion of Sujood al-Sahu, the Sujood of forgetfulness. Sujood of forgetfulness. And so he's reasoning behind this. He says that it's a very tricky mas'ala, and if you don't perform it right, your whole salah can become batil. And it's ibadah. And salah is a pillar of deen. So if your salah is batil and you don't know, which is, mashallah, min si'ati aqlihi, from the vastness of his hikmah and his intellect. الله أكبر. فائدة. قال بعضهم أجود الأوقات للحفظ الأسحار وللبحث الإبكار. He says the best time to memorize is the time of ashar. What is the time of ashar? What is the time of ashar? وقت الأسحار? What time of the morning? Before Fajr. The time of sahar. That's where suhoor comes from. وَلِلْبَحْثِ الْإِبْكَارِ. And for research, early in the morning. After that, after Fajr. وَلِلْكِتَابَ وَسَطَ النَّهَارِ. And to write in the middle of the day. وَلِلْمُطَالَعَ وَالْمُذَاكَرَ آخِرَ اللَّيْلِ. And to make مطالعة at night. To study, to make مطالعة, مراجعة of your work, at night is the best time. وقال الخطيب البغدادي, the famous author of Tariq Baghdad, أجود أوقات الحفظ الأسحار. The best time to memorize is the time of sahar. Then after that, وسط النهار, ثم الغداء. Middle of the day. Middle of the day would be like before dhuhr time, and then after that, after dhuhr. وحفظ الليل أنفع من حفظ النهار. And to memorize at night is better than memorizing during the day. ووقت الجوع أنفع من وقت الشبع. And to memorize when you're hungry is better than memorizing when you are full. وأجود أماكن الحفظ الغرف وكل موضع بعيد عن الملهيات. The best place to memorize is in an enclosed area where you're away from distractions. So a person sitting in the garden and memorizing, person sitting outside on his porch and his stoop and memorizing, in the masjid, not the best. Because people come in and out all the time, cars drive past, children are playing, distraction. The best place is an enclosed area where it's just you and your text that you are busy memorizing, whether it is the Quran or any other text. And mulhiyat, any form of distraction, even your phone must be away. either on flight mode or on off or something, but not to have. If you want to have proper mutala'a, then rather take your phone away and put it in the cupboard or something. Because if you are reading or you're memorizing and you are looking and the messages, even if you are not picking up your phone, but just looking at your phone and seeing a message coming through, an update or a notification, distraction, that compromises your mutala'a, your revision, it compromises your memorization. تفضل. قال الحبيب عبد الله الحداد رضي الله عنه: كل علم له أصول إذا ضبطها الإنسان تكاد تنضبط له الفروع ومن أراد أن يتبحر في فن فليأخذ بأصوله لتتبعه الفروع. He says, Imam al-Haddad says, every knowledge has usul, has foundations, principles. If you understand those principles, the furu', what comes after that, the subcategories, the branches of that science will follow it. The branches will follow it. وَمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَتَبَحَّرْ, a person who wants to become proficient in tabahhar it's amazing that bahr is ocean, right? And bahr is ocean, and tabahhar is when you're sailing deep into the ocean. And ocean in itself was always used as an example for vast knowledge. And therefore one of the sciences of or one of the descriptions of Quran, the ulama say, is bahrun la sahila lahu. It is an ocean that has no shore. There's no shoreline to it. There's no beginning to it. There's no end. It's a bahr. It's just an ocean. Al-Imam al-Busayri also in his burda, he uses also the description, speaks about the Quran and says كأنه البحر في مدد وفوق جوهره في الحسن والقيم فما تعد ولا تحصى عجائبها ولا تسام على الإكثار بالسام. He says that the Quran is like an ocean in terms of its jewels. It never depletes. There was never a time where the fishermen came back and they said, "Dasim your fish in the ocean, dasim your fish in the sea." It may be less than what they were accustomed to, but they're always coming back or something. I'm not speaking about the shoreline fishermen, I'm speaking about people that go into the ocean. Right? The people that go into the ocean, or the trawlers and the big boats and so on, they will say, "Oh, the catch wasn't so good today," but they come back with fish like us. Nevertheless. So it never depletes. And Imam Busayri says, likewise, the Quran's jewels never depletes. وَلَا تُسَامُ عَلَى الْإِكْثَارِ بِالسَّامِ. He says, the more you repeat it, you never become bored. Rather, it increases in beauty the more you read it. And he says, كَأَنَّهُ الْبَحْرُ فِي مَدَدٍ. In the same way the ocean is providing constantly sustenance, one wave after the other. That aid, one wave breaks, another wave comes in. One wave breaks. You see, that's how the Quran constantly knocks you with its marvelous meanings and its secrets. The more you read it, the more Allah opens up for you new meanings. You can read Surah Al-Fatiha for your entire life, and after 8 years of reading it, Allah can still grant you new openings through Surah Al-Fatiha. How long have you been reading Surah Yasin, for example? For years. We grew up reading Surah Yasin every single day. Surah Yasin. Al-Imam al-Haddad says, لَقَدْ فُتِحَ عَلَيْهِ. I received my spiritual openings through Surah Yasin. Through reading Surah Yasin. Right? Allahu Akbar. So, we're speaking about at-tabahhur. So, the ocean was always used as a symbol for vast knowledge. And the moon was used as a symbol for beauty. And the sun was used as a symbol for consistency. Right. And when they would want to describe something beautiful, they would say, Al-Qamar. Like, wajhuhu kal-qamar. His face is like a moon. When Jabir ibn Abdullah or Jabir ibn Samurah described the Prophet ﷺ, he says, Ahsanu min al-qamar. Right? The Arabs used to say, kal-qamar, is like the moon. When Jabir ibn Samurah described the Prophet ﷺ, he says, it is more beautiful than the moon. Because there was nothing more beautiful to them than a full moon. Picture yourself in the middle of the desert. It's dark. There's no lights. There's no lights. It's like dark. And you're sitting and you're looking in the dark night. The desert is dark. You can't see anything around you. And the only thing you see is a bright, beautiful moon. And there's no obscurity in seeing it. You see it perfect. It's perfectly round. It's beautiful. It's white. It doesn't hurt your eye like the rays of the sun. You can look at it and you can admire it for hours and your eyes wouldn't hurt. It provides me light. It provides me beautiful sight for my eyes. It assists me to move, to see what's happening around. It is beautiful. It guides the travelers during the travel journey and travel through the desert. So it's beautiful. I say, his face to me is like a moon. He provides me that security that a moon provided the Arabs at that time. That's the feeling he provides me in my heart. Jabir ibn Samurah says, Ahsanu min al-qamar. He's more beautiful than the moon. Meaning, if I knew in my limited knowledge something that was greater than this moon in terms of its beauty, I would have described Rasulullah with it. So, if you go to Masr, if you go to Egypt, and you visit the qabr of Imam Shafi'i, you see Imam Shafi'i has a dome. Right? He's buried immediately at the bottom of that dome. His qabr is exactly at the bottom of the dome. On top of his qabr is a dome. On top of the dome is what? It's not the moon and the star. It's not the moon. So usually put the moon and the star. On top of his dome is a ship. On top of his dome is a ship. So even if you Google now, you Google the maqam of Imam Shafi'i, and you see the picture of the maqam, you see there's a ship on top of it. And the reason why they put the ship there is they say that because beneath the ship there's an ocean of knowledge. Beneath the ship there's an ocean of knowledge. So again, they use knowledge, they use the ocean to describe the vastness of the person's knowledge. So when you say tabahhara, it means the person has become an authority or proficient, and he has really delved deep into that science. He's really delved deep into the science. فَمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَتَبَحَّرْ. Al-Imam al-Haddad says, he who wants to make tabahhur. So now I'm not going to translate. So now I'm not going to translate tabahhur because you understand the meaning now. Just think of the ocean. فَمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَتَبَحَّرْ. Who wants to become أن يتبحر, makes tabahhur of a certain science, فَلْيَأْخُذْ بِأُصُولِهِ. Simple as that. Simple. You want to make tabahhur in a certain science? تأخذ بأصوله. Take the foundations of that science. Then what does he say? لِتَتْبَعُهَا الْفُرُوعِ. Then the furu', the branches of that science, the different dimensions of that science will follow it. The problem is when the person starts with a furu' and doesn't have proper ilmam of the usul. He wants to start with a high read. So when they ask him what are you doing, he says, I'm reading this. But he doesn't read the basics. Then yakunu, his pitfalls will be greater, or rather what he's losing is greater than what he's benefiting. He will very soon realize that the person who studied a small text, مثلا in Tawheed, studied a small text in Tawheed, or a small text in Fiqh, and you studied an advanced text in Fiqh or in Tawheed or other subject, then you studied that vast text in Tawheed. If you didn't study the basics and you studied lots of furu', then you're not going to have proper grasp. You're not going to have a comprehensive understanding of the subject. فيتشتت فكرك. Your thoughts will be all over. You won't be able to make ilmam of the mas'ala or of the science itself. Imam al-Haddad says, in order for you to be able to comprehensively understand the science, study the furu' first, study the usul first, the foundations, study the principles, and then after that, al-furu' yatba'. The furu' follows. Then that's how Imam Shafi'i had this tariqat al-mutakallimin. The tariqah Imam Shafi'i. They first made the qawa'id, and from the qawa'id, farra'u al-furu'. From the qawa'id, from the basics, from the principles, they derived ahkam. You see, okay, under this, what ahkam can come after this, what ahkam can come under this. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, for example. That is one of the al-umuru bimaqasidiha. Actions are judged based on its objectives. Under this, what is the ahkam that comes now, stems forth from this. وَهَكَذَا. So the Imam Haddad's advices again is, every science has usul, has foundations, has basics, has principles. Study the foundational aspects of that science in order that when you do categorize your furu', your subcategories, your branches, then you correctly categorize them. Because if you're just studying the branches of furu' and you don't have usul, then you're going to be all over the shop. But if you have the usul, and then you'll be able to see how it branches out from the usul, from the foundations, from the principles. And this is تَنْضَبِطُ لَكَ الْفُرُوعِ. Then the furu', what stems from the usul, the branches, right, they will become sound. And who wants to make tabahur in a science, then he should study the usul لِتَتْبَعَ الْفُرُوعِ, so the furu' can follow the usul. سمعت؟ فهمت؟ Understood? تمام؟ Is it clear? مرحبا. قال سيدنا الحب أحمد بن عمر بن سميط نفع الله به: إذا استفدت فائدة فأفدها غيرك وقل له يفيد غيره حتى يزيدك الله. وقيل شعرا: أفيدوا جهولا ما علمتموه دونه يفيدكم الرحمن ما تجهلونه. Habib Ahmad bin Umar bin Sumait said that if you benefit something, then let someone else benefit from it as well. You benefit someone else. If you learn something, even if it's small, then teach someone else. So that if you should tell him, whoever you benefit, whoever you share this fa'idah with, tell him, share it with others as well. So that Allah can increase you. Because the more it is being shared, the more Allah increases you. He said, إِذَا اسْتَفَدْتَ فَائِدَةً, if you've benefited a fa'idah, something which is beneficial, فَأَفِدْهَا غَيْرَكَ, then let others benefit from you as well. And tell him, share it with others. Share it with others. Shamir is going to go home now. He's going to say, he's going to tell his wife, I learned this. He discusses now around the table with his, when they have kusistas and bolas, and they now speak about what he learned in the class. So now he must tell he's benefiting his family, but he should tell his family, share it with others as well. And in that way, his benefit increases. His benefit increases because the more it's being shared. And Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu used to say, Al-ilmu khayrun min al-mal. Ilm is better than mal. Al-ilmu yahrusuka wa anta tahrusu al-mal. He says you must safeguard your wealth, but knowledge safeguards you. When you have money, what do you do? What do you do when you have money? People don't walk with cash in their pocket anymore. They don't walk with cash in their pocket because they're scared they're going to be robbed. So what, they put it on their card, or they put it in the safe, or in a deposit box, or under their mattress. Right? So they protect it, they safeguard it. And they put pins on their cards so people don't when they steal the cards, they can't withdraw. You have to safeguard your wealth. I said, you walk around with knowledge. You don't have to be worried people is going to know. No one is interested in robbing you from your knowledge. Right? No one's going to rob you from your knowledge. He says that the knowledge is actually protecting you from the ignorance, from the ignorance. He says العلم يحرسك وأنت تحرس المال. العلم يزكو بالإنفاق والمال تنقصه النفقة. He says علم, you become more rich the more you impart, the more you give it away. The more you give it away, the more rich you become. And wealth, the more you give it away, the less you have. So the wealth you're giving away, you have no 100. No, they say sadaqah is a different thing, but now you just say giving it away. Giving it. In reality, a part of the reward, you have now 100 rand, you give away 10 rand, you have 90 rand. Ilm, you give it away, you don't have less ilm in your chest. You give away, you share one mas'ala, you don't have one mas'ala less. You still have the mas'ala. وَيَزِيد, and it increases, because right now, that person is going to share that mas'ala with another person. Like for example, in the case of Hajj Faisal now, so he's sharing it with everyone that comes to visit the Dwar. He shares it and shares it and shares it, and the more he's sharing it, the more he is enriching himself. The more he's enriching himself. So he says, Al-ilmu khayrun min al-ma'al. Knowledge is better than wealth. أفيدوا جهولا ما علمتموه دونه يفيدكم الرحمن ما تجهلونه. He says, the Shaykh says, benefit someone who doesn't have the knowledge that you have. And then the consequence of that, the result of that is Allah Ar-Rahman will benefit you with knowledge that you do not have. Benefit others with knowledge that they won't have, that they don't have. And Ar-Rahman will benefit you with knowledge that you do not have. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. قال الحبيب علوي بن عبد الرحمن المشهور نفع الله به لا بد لطالب العلم من 3 خصال. He says a طالب of ilm, a student of ilm must have 3 خصال, must have 3 characters, 3 qualities. A student of ilm must have 3 qualities. 3 خصال. What is the first quality? ساعة يضبط بها الوقت. ساعة يضبط بها الوقت. You must have time. You must have appreciation for time. ساعة يضبط بها الوقت. Second, وديرة يعرف بها القبلة. Direction, that he must know how the qibla is. وقلم يكتب ما يستفيده. And a pen that he can jot, he can write down what he's benefiting. So he must have a watch to observe his time, knowledge of the direction of the qibla, and a pen to write down what he's benefiting. Today, people don't carry pens, they carry phones these days. Everyone's making notes on their phones, no one is carrying a pen. Shaykh Yusuf, can the phones replace the pens? Shaykh Taib. Some of the students in Dar al-Mustafa were recording Habib's classes when Habib was teaching. The students of Dar al-Mustafa. And Habib told advised the teachers that no one must sit with phones and record my talks. If you want to record, you have a voice recorder. And you put the voice recorder there. But no one records with a phone in my classes. And Shaykh Muhammad al-Khatib also then narrated this and he says, I made it a rule in my classes that whoever wants to record, don't sit in front of his students. If it's Dars Am, if it's a general class, not bad. If it's a part of your curriculum and you're sitting, then he says you sit with the recorder. That's why the people in the Dar, the students, they have voice recorders. But the phone, in fact. الله ينفعنا بالصالحين وبكلام الصالحين آمين يا رب العالمين في خير ولطف وعافية. The next chapter is أدعية وأذكار مفيدة لطالب العلم. He mentions du'as and adhkar that are beneficial for a student of deen to read or to know. So he gives some advices of some du'as that you can read if you want to memorize. What do you read? If you want to, you're struggling to understand something, what do you read? When is best to read certain things? How do you read it? You're struggling to memorize the Quran also. What can one read to? هكذا. الله أعلم. تفضل مشايخنا. Are there any questions? Any question? I was mentioning on Friday the importance of having good thoughts of the creation of Allah. And a story came to mind when I was now in Malaysia of how good thoughts don't only benefit the person, but it benefits those around him at times. Having good thoughts, sometimes you think having good thoughts, the benefit is for myself to have good thoughts. But sometimes having good thoughts of a person benefits not only yourself, but others around you. Ali bin Abu Bakr, he said when he was here, he said, having good opinion and good thoughts of a person, you get rewarded for it even if you are wrong. And you get a sin even if you are right. So if you have good thoughts of someone, and he's not that what you're thinking of him, then Allah still reward you for having good thoughts of him. And if you have evil thoughts, even if you are right in it, you still get the sin. So when I was now in Malaysia, so there's this one program at the Masjid Putrajaya. It's a massive masjid. It's a masjid on the lake or on the river. I think it's on the lake or on the ocean. It's a massive masjid. And that masjid, inside of the masjid is probably what is the biggest masjid here in Cape Town? Shukr Mubin. I think Haib you probably, no? Probably like 10 times the size of that masjid. Like if you look at the whole parking, for Habib, that's just probably the size of the masjid, if not bigger. The whole parking area with the mazar and the nursery school. Yeah, probably bigger. It's a massive masjid. And that masjid was packed. There wasn't place in the masjid. Outside the masjid, on the right, there's a massive open mataf area. Behind there's a massive open mataf area, probably another, like half of the size of the masjid. And it was packed outside. People were standing in the roads outside. There was easily like between say 58 to 80,000 people there. So now we're coming from far because we're living about an hour away from the program. So we're coming to the program. I tell the guys we're gonna be late. We must prepare ourselves now. We're gonna sit outside in the road. When we came there, the traffic officers had blocked off the road, and we needed to get off like maybe about 1.5 kilometers away, and we needed to walk. Because there's no place, there's no parking. It was parked from there all the way up until people were able to park. So we walked. It took us maybe like about half an hour to eventually get close to the masjid. When we got to close enough, not inside the masjid, outside the masjid, it was crowded outside. And we were struggling to get in. Eventually, step by step, we got into the outside area of the masjid. Now like you said, the mataf of the masjid. And then it was already people already sitting there, it was full. And then these two youngsters come, and I had a turban on, and I had a white top and I had a shawl. So, and I came there. So they came and they greeted me and they wanted to kiss my hand. So I said, no. Can't speak Malay. So I said, no, I'm not Habib. I'm not Habib. But they, thought maybe I'm a Shaykh or something. They didn't know me, and I didn't know them from above. So they don't know me. But they greeted me thinking that, this guy, he looked like a big Shaykh. So he must be, because he come here with a turban on and a shawl. Nah, this guy's a Shaykh. Habib. I said, no, that's the Habib. I'm not Habib. Habib is outside. And when they did this, so one of the security guys saw this. The people, like the marshals. So they saw this. So when they saw them wanting to kiss my hand, thinking that I'm a Shaykh, so the marshals thought, no, this guy's like a must be Shaykh. And so they escorted me right to the front of the masjid. Me and the 3 guys that were with me. So that and then I felt so awkward because we were walking past everybody and the people are all looking at me and they escorting me to the front of the masjid. Ik is nie lei nie, ek sê nie, ek is hou, ek sê I said right in front of me, alhamdulillah. I mean, the lesson is that having good thoughts, having good opinion of people, at times benefits the people. They didn't know me, I didn't know them. And they didn't know what the benefit that, what the action, their husn al-dhan now, the result it caused me. They sat outside, but because of their husn al-dhan, I benefited, may Allah reward them. I went right to the front there, mashallah. So, good opinion is very, very important. Very, very important of people. Unfortunately, we're living in a society that we first have ill thoughts before good thoughts. That's how a Western society is programmed. A Western society, unfortunately, you program that, you first be cautious. Be versigtig, wie hy? Is hy nou hy ding nou is 'n sheikh or hy so ajib, like, so even like when the greeting of the scholars, and when you kiss their hands, then people frown upon them and they will say, what, are you worshipping these people? But yet when you see how the Westerners go on in the concerts and how they shout at the singers and the actresses and the soccer players, and it's fine. It's okay. Then they still brag about it afterwards and say, oh, see what I did. I got a photo and I managed to get the selfie in the crowd, whatever it is. But when it comes to the Salihin, then it's frowned upon. So and that is one of the beautiful akhlaq that we saw in Malaysia, is that they have good thoughts of people. They have good opinion of people. And it is something that we really need to work on. What is the first thought that comes? What is the first thought that comes to your heart when you see someone? What's that first thought? That's very important. Having good thoughts after Haji Ali now, I say, mashallah, so and Haji Ali, and now he sits in front and I greet him and I kiss his hand and I say, oh, mashallah, this must be a good person. No, what is your first thoughts when you see the person? What's your first thoughts? That's when your good opinion is actually really counting. That's when it's being taken custody of. When you see a person the first time, what's the first thought that goes to your mind? Try and monitor that. Try and look at that. Try and assess that. Whether it is an alim, whether it is an ordinary person, whether it makes no difference. Can you see within that person, the moment you see him for the first time, can you see within him khair without judging him in a negative way? Can you? Can you see that person to be better than you? Can you see that person to be more closer to Allah than you? Can you see that person to be more beloved to Allah than you? Can you? That is what we saw in our teacher Sayyid Habib. How that female, that guy asked that looked like a female. He asked the question. And yet Habib saw khair within that person, within that man. And gave him advice. Smiled with him. And what was amazing to me was not how Habib answered him. That was beautiful. But what was amazing is how he felt, how he was able to build up the courage to ask such a great scholar on TV, on recording, in front of a hall full of people, and ulama to tell him that I am so and so and so, is there hope for me? Imagine how comfortable he must have been, looking like a female, dressed like a female, he's actually a male, to stand up and ask Habib, is there hope for me? It takes a lot. It takes a lot. But because of Habib's akhlaq and the good thoughts that was so overwhelming, that story of the person that the Sahabi came to Rasulullah, said, Ya Rasulullah, the youngster, can I commit zina? The Sahaba said, how can you ask Rasulullah? They say that how amazing was it that the youngster felt comfortable to come to Rasulullah and ask Rasulullah permission to commit zina. He felt he could speak to Rasulullah about anything. And that's how that person felt in the company of our teacher, Sayyidi Haib. So, because he wasn't judging him. He was safe of being judged. He felt that this is not a scholar that is going to say, you're going to go to Jahannam now, and it's going to be on the recording, everyone's going to see that this is a person of Jahannam, he's going to be cursed. He felt that this person is someone that my heart feel that he will give me the right answer. He is the Warith Kamil, he's a perfect heir of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us to embellish ourselves and beautify our lives and our hearts with the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and to have good opinions of the creation of Allah. Whether they are younger than us, older than us, it makes no difference. Whether believer or disbeliever. They say that the very least, the Salihin say the very least is if you can't see any khair within a disbeliever, witness within him an-nafkhatul ilahiyya, that Allah blew into him. Allah blew into him. That's khair. Allah blew into him. فَإِذَا سَوَّيْتُهُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي, I blew into him. He's my slave. So witness that aspect of him. Forget about his actions. You don't agree with his actions, but witness within him, this is one of the creation of my Allah. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Alhamdulillah. Sayyidi, afiduna.
نصيحة منكم مثلا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم إنا نسألك إيمانا لا يرتد، ونعيما لا ينفد، وقرة عين لا تنقطع، ومرافقة نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم في أعلى جنان الخلد. اللهم أجرنا من النار، اللهم أجرنا من النار، اللهم أجرنا من النار، وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الفاتحة إلى حضرة النبي.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وسلم. الفاتحة.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون.
جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم.